Welcome back. Our next tool to explore is the shape tools. So for us to do that, I'll be deleting all these screens. So for you to do that, you have to select, then delete the screen. So I'll select and then use the delete key on the keyboard to just delete the screens. We'll be keeping this one. Then I'll go straight ahead. For you to select the shape tools, we have this rectangle here. So once you click on the rectangle, it means the tools you are selecting is a rectangle. So for us to select other shapes, you use the arrow below here. Click on that. We're going to see all other shapes that can be explored on Figma. So we'll be starting with the most basic, which is the rectangle. So I'll be selecting the rectangle tools, then I'll zoom out, then I will try to create a rectangle. So the moment you pick the tools, all you need to do is go to the screen, try to drag and then to any shape. So we are trying to create a rectangle here. So I just drag this and I drop this here. So we'll be looking at how we can explore other options. So let's say you want to create a square. So I'll pick the rectangle tools. So I'll try creating a square. So if you notice, I'm finding it very hard to just get a perfect square. So for you to do that, you can hold the shift while you drag. You see, if you hold the shift on your keyboard, then you can drag in and then drag out to get a perfect square. So that is how to create a square. Then let's look at other options. Let's say you want to duplicate this perfect square here. So for you to do that, you can use the Control D to duplicate. So after you must have duplicate, it is lying on the first rectangle. So for you to see the effect, you have to drag this out. You see, dragging it out just pulls that out of the other rectangle. So I can do the same thing, Control D, then you see it will automatically duplicate my last movement. So let's adjust this to just get a accurate design. So now I'm having 4 different shapes that I created from the rectangle. So I can just click on this, then maybe everything. If you want to select everything, we use the Control. So I can use Control while selecting from here, then select. But if you want to select directly on the screen, you use the Shift, then select each and every one of this so you can move them together. So the next tool we'll be exploring is the line tools. So let's say you want to create a line. All you need to do is you just click, then okay, I have to unselect that. So let's do this. Let me unselect these options. So pick the line tools. So what I want to do now is I want to create a line. So I'll click and then try to drag this. So once you're done, you just click on that. You see, we have created a line. So for me to keep doing this, I'll pick another one, then perform another example. Click and then try to drag that out. So one thing with the line is that once you click, you know, just the way you draw on your pencil, you have to drag it around. So if you clicking, you see I'm not getting any effect, but the moment I try dragging it out, it means I'm drawing. So you're drawing a line. So for you to get a straight line, you use the Shift. So you see I'm going to get a perfectly straight line using the Shift. But if you're trying to drag it without the Shift, I think that depends on your accuracy or how long you've been using the mouse. But to get a perfectly straight line, you just try to drag this. You see at this point now, you see my line is going in, let's say angle 45, but the moment I hold Shift on my keyboard, you see I'm getting a perfectly straight line. So I'll stop there for the line tools. So let's explore the next tool, which is the arrow. So let's say you want to point to a particular file. So here we can just drag and then just point to this. So for these tools, you just drag, then point to the particular location you want. So our next tool is the ellipse. So I would try to draw an ellipse inside this particular shape here. So you see, when I'm drawing this, I also don't get a perfect cycle. So for you to do that is the same thing. This time we're using the shift again to just get a perfect cycle. You see, no matter how I reduce it, I'm getting a perfect cycle. Using the shift, then we can just drag it and play with it around. So I can just align this here, then try to just drop it outside here so that we can see the color. So I'm dropping this here. So we'll stop here, then we continue exploring other tools in our next video.